James Webb Telescope reveals pillars of creation. About 6,500 light-years from Earth, in the Eagle Nebula, a region of the universe where thick gas and dust give birth to brand new stars, is where the pillars of creation are located. The interstellar dust and gas that fuel star formation are visible as pillars in this image. Newly created superstars are the bright red spheres just beyond the dust, and squiggly red patches are caused by material being blasted out. Welcome back to the Discovery Scene. In today's video, we will see exactly what the James Webb Telescope has shown to this world and shook scientists to a different level. So, do you want to know more about the telescope? Make sure to subscribe to our channel to unveil all those shocking creations. In new images published by NASA, the James Webb Space Telescope has caught an incredible and intricate scene of the recognizable pillars of creation. The James Webb Space Telescope uses infrared light to look further into space than visible light observatories like the Hubble. James Webb's vision makes seeing through the stars forming area's dust easier. Hubble initially captured an image of the pillars of creation in 1995, and then it did so again in 2014, around 6,500 light-years from Earth. In the Serpens constellation, the Eagle Nebula contains hydrogen-based gas and dust structures called the pillars of formation, which are teeming with stars. Now we know that the images are captured. What does it look like? The pillars resemble buttes in the desert, according to NASA. They are essentially extremely dense clouds of hydrogen gas and dust that have endured longer than their surroundings despite being illuminated by ultraviolet light from nearby hot newborn stars. Photoevaporation is the process through which high-energy radiation alters the things it interacts with, such as ultraviolet light. Tiny globules of much denser gas that were concealed within the pillars are gradually exposed as a result of this event. Evaporating gaseous globules are what these globules are known as, EGGs. Some EGGs include embryonic stars, which stop developing suddenly when they are exposed to the larger gas reservoir from which they are sucking mass. The EGGs finally give way to stars. The three-dimensional arches, which are much more permeable, resemble grand metamorphic rocks, according to NASA. The spires and arches rising out of the desert environment are constantly altering as new stars are formed by gas and dust. The first photograph taken by NASA's Hubble Space Telescope in 1995, which was regarded as iconic among space scientists, made the pillars of creation popular. It went back to the location in 2014 and showed a clearer, larger perspective. The once plaster-smooth sweeps of the wrists, palms, and hands are now chiseled away in a new James Webb Space Telescope photograph that was published this week. The writing appears simultaneously more substantial and otherworldly. That's because, according to NASA, the European Space Agency, and the Canadian Space Program, the three partners of the telescope, the new observatory displays the pillar of creations in infrared light, displaying texture and translucent gas. Small dust grains consisting of hydrogen and carbon are what cause all of the yellowish features. They glow as a very thin wrap over the cloud when UV light is shown through them, making the cloud appear three-dimensional rather than flat. However, according to NASA, a fresh image in near-infrared light from James Webb's near-infrared camera, or NIRCam, is now assisting in peering through more of the dust in the star-forming zone. The red specks towards the borders of the pillars show that ejections from newly formed stars were visible in the photograph, still in existence in amazing detail. They stated, the numerous red stars that are still developing are now visible, and the thick, dusty brown pillars are no longer as impenetrable. By discovering significantly more precise counts of newly produced stars in addition to the quantities of gas and dust around, the new picture will assist astronomers overhaul their models of star forming. The cool molecular hydrogen and dust that makes up the pillars are being degraded by photoevaporation caused by the ultraviolet light of nearby bright stars. 4 light-years or so make up the length of the pillar on the left. The gas hinter is shielded by the shadows of evaporating gaseous globules, EGGs, which from extreme UV flux cause the finger-like bulges at the top of the cloud, which are larger than the solar system, to be apparent. EGGs act as their own star incubators. The EGGs are then vaporized when the star comes to light. The pillars of creation, however, are just pure nostalgia. They don't exist, yet they did, since the phenomenon is so remote that the radiation that James Webb observed was released 6,500 years ago, proving that they did exist. The reason for this is that the gas and dust are actively forming new stars, while also being degraded by the light of freshly produced stars that are close by. Webb will examine every stage in the development of our universe, from the initial bright glows after the Big Bang to the emergence of solar systems able to support life on continents like Earth, to the development of our own solar system. It will expand on the learnings from the Hubble Space Telescope. What about those wavy lines at the rims of some of the pillars that resemble lava? These are star-forming stellar ejections from the surrounding gas and dust. Periodically, young stars emit supersonic jets that slam into dense pillar-like clouds of matter. In some cases, this also leads to bow waves, which can create wavy patterns similar to that of what a boat makes when it travels across the water. The vibrant hydrogen molecules produced by jets and shocks are what give off the color. The near-cam image almost pulses with their activity, as seen in the top second and third pillars. The age of these newborn stars is only thought to be a few 100 million years. Despite the impression that Webb has used near-infrared light to punch through the clouds and exposed vast cosmic expanses further than the pillars, there are hardly any galaxies in this image. Instead, the highest density region of our Milky Way's galaxy disk, which contains the intergalactic medium, obscures our sight of most of the inner cosmos. The stars in the new image stand out more than when compared to those captured by the Hubble telescope and those by the JWST. The wavy streaks along the edges of some pillars, which NASA claims resemble lava, are actually star-forming stellar ejections from the dust and gas surrounding them. Young stars occasionally release supersonic jets that, when they collide with material, can cause shocks and produce wavy patterns. Its reddish tint is a result of the intense hydronium ions that the jets and shocks create. NASA's Hubble Space Telescope initially took a picture of the pillars of creation in 1995, which led to their initial notoriety. 3 spires of dust and gas that resemble rock structures but are actually more porous than they seem are these pillars. Researchers will update their star formation models by using the James Webb Space Telescope's photos to detect and count freshly formed stars with much greater accuracy. As well as the area's gas and dust levels, the stars in this new picture stand out more when compared to those captured by the Hubble Space Telescope and those by the JWST. Some people believe that it would be more accurate to refer to these structures as the pillars of destruction rather than the pillars of Genesis, because of so many galaxies were born there. Struck by how fleeting these constructions are before our very eyes, they are actively getting ablated away. The eerie bluish haze surrounding the pillar's thick edges is made up of heated material evaporating into space. The point in these pillars' evolution that we have observed is extremely rare and fleeting, according to Paul Scowen of the University of Arizona in Tempe. One of the researchers who oversaw the initial Hubble studies of M16 was Scowen. Only a few months have passed since the start of the James Webb Telescope's 10-year mission. However, mission personnel anticipate a 20-year lifespan. We may anticipate a consistent stream of breathtaking photographs for a few decades, much like the Hubble. With its penetrating vision and state-of-the-art equipment, NASA has promised that the telescope will help mankind unravel the cosmos since it was launched into orbit 9 months ago. Astronomers anticipate it will result in incredible discoveries. The first galaxies and stars formed shortly after the universe's creation 13.8 billion years ago. According to astronomers, the light from those initial galaxies is still blazing, albeit it has been extended by time and the universe's expansion. They are present in infrared light, which is invisible to human vision. Additionally, fainter and farther away things can suddenly become focused thanks to Webb's very sensitive mirrors. The light information is then converted by researchers into colors that humans can see and understand. Gunther Hasinger, science director for the European Space Agency, presented the pillars of creation as an example of how the infrared would show how many stars, gas, and dust concealed from sight and optical light just days before the telescope's Christmas Day launch last year. As a result, young stars that are only a few 100,000 years old are visible at the cloud's edges as scarlet orbs. The budding stars that occasionally send out wavy jets are what cause the bright red regions on the fingertips. They are that color due to energetic hydrogen. According to NASA, such pillar regions practically pulse with their activity. Here are some amazing videos that I believe you will enjoy. Simply click on the left or right video to watch it. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye.